Hello everybody, this is going to be a video on factoring quadratics. Okay, so what we're gonna have here is a failure to communicate, but as well as a main factoring concept, which is why we factor. It's to convert from standard form to intercept form, which that is going to be standard form, and we're going to convert to intercept form. And how do I do that? I do it by something called X factoring. And it's where you put a big X on the page, okay? And on top of your X is going to be a B. See? B right there. And then on bottom you have A times C, which is A times C. And then on the sides you're going to have fractions, which are going to be divided by A, which is right here, okay? Okay. Now, on top of your fractions, your numerators, they are going to be the factors of A times C that add to B. Okay, once you get those fractions, you're going to make your equation, which is going to be y equals A times x plus blank times x plus blank. And in your blanks here are going to be your fractions. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will get you your equation, your intercept form. Okay, next, let's get into some examples. First, what we're going to do first and foremost, the very first thing we're going to do is label A, B, and C. Now, keep in mind, A, B, and C are only numbers, not x's, just numbers. So A will be 1, B will be 2, C will be -3. Now that we have those labeled, put a big X on your page. I don't like right there. Let's put it closer right there. Okay. So on top will be B, and B is 2. On bottom will be A times C. So 1 times -3 is -3. And then we have fractions on the side that are divided by A, which is 1. Next, we need to find the numerators, or the factors of A times C that add to B. So we need to factor -3. Let's go ahead and factor that up. -3, put a little T-chart. The factors of -3, let's start with 1. 1 and -3. And then -1, -1 and +3. Now, since there is a prime number, those are the only two factors, okay? Meaning, which one of those two adds to +2? And that will be -1, +3. That adds to +2. So we're going to put -1 over 1 on one numerator, and then 3 on the other numerator. Now that we have our fractions, we can make our equation, which is going to be y equals A times x plus blank times x plus blank. This fraction will go in one. This fraction will go in the other. So y equals A equals 1, so 1. And then x plus a -1 over 1. 1 divided by 1 is 1, and adding a negative means subtract. So x minus 1, and x plus 3 over 1, which is just 3, so x plus 3. And there is your system, your intercept form. So we went from standard form to intercept form. Now, how would we get back to standard form given these two binomials? It starts with a D. So we multiply them together. Yeah, distribute them. So distribute that and there and that, and you will get standard form again. Okay, so just distribute and combine like terms, and you'll get your standard form. Now, if I was to ask you to find the solutions of this equation, really simple, just from our worksheet from basic factoring, what you're going to do is set your binomials equal to what? Equal to 0. And then solve for x, and that would give you your solutions, your zeros, your roots, your x-intercepts, etc. Okay, moving on. Second example. First, label A, B, and C, which is 2, -3, and -9. Now make your x. On top is B, which is -3. On bottom is -18, because A times C is 2 times -9 equals -18. And then divide by A, which is 2. And then find the factors of A times C that add to B. So let's go ahead and find the factors of -18. So start with 1. 1 and -18, negative 1 and positive 18, 2 and negative 9, negative 2 and 9, 3 and negative 6, negative 3 and 6. Which one of those 6 factors adds to negative 3? And I'm going to go ahead and say this one right here. 3 minus 6 is negative 3. So you can have a 3 right here and a negative 6 here. And now that we have our fractions, we can now make our equation. So y equals a times x plus blank times x plus blank. And so one fraction will go on one blank, the other fraction will go on the other blank. So you'll have y equals a, which is 2, times x plus 3 over 2, doesn't reduce, so just leave it as 3 over 2. And then x plus a negative 6 over 2. Since we're adding a negative, make it subtract, so x minus, and then 6 divided by 2 is what? 3. Good job. Okay, now, this isn't done. We have a fraction right there, and we don't like fractions, okay? Let's go ahead and get rid of that fraction by distributing our a into that binomial, okay? So only that one. We only have one number, so only distribute it into one binomial, which is the fraction one. So distribute it inside. We'll have y equals 2 times x is 2x plus 2 times 3 divided by 2. The 2's will cancel and you're left with 3. So 2x plus 3 and then x minus 3. Okay, that's it. Now to go from intercept form to standard form, you're going to distribute. To find your solutions, you're going to set your binomials equal to 0 and solve for x. Piece of cake? Piece of cake. All right, good job. Next. Okay, so first, what do? We label A, B, C. And this is 6, 9, and negative 6. Now what do? We make our x. What goes on top? B, which is 9. Bottom is A times C, which is negative 36, because 6 times negative 6 is negative 36. What do we divide by? A, which is 6. And then what goes on top? What goes on our numerators? The factors of negative 36 to add to 9. So let's go ahead and factor what? Negative 36, right. So start with what number? 1, which is going to be negative 36. And then negative 1, which will be 36. And then 2, which will be negative 18. Negative 2 will be 18. 3 will be negative 12. Negative 3 will be positive 12. That's good enough right there. So which of these 6 factors adds the positive 9? It's going to be this one right here, the last one. Negative 3 plus 12 is 9. So we'll have a negative 3 here and a positive 12 there. And now that we have our fractions, we can now make what? Our equation. So y equals a times x plus blank times x plus blank. And one fraction will go in here, the other fraction will go in there. So we're going to have y equals, what is a? A is 6. And then we'll have x plus a negative, which is subtract. 3 over 6 doesn't reduce to a whole number, so leave it as 3 over 6. And then we're going to have x plus 12 over 6 reduces to positive 2. One last thing, we have a fraction. So what do? We distribute our a, 6, into our fraction binomial. And only that one. So we'll have y equals 6 times x is 6x minus 6 times 3 divided by 6 just leaves you with 3. So 6x minus 3 times x plus 2. And that's it. Now to reiterate again, to get back from intercept form to standard form, you're going to distribute your binomials together. And then to find your solutions, your roots, your zeros, your x-intercepts, set your binomials equal to 0 and solve for x. One last one. Looks kind of confusing, but it's really not that bad. What we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and label, right? But what are we missing? We have x squared and we have our remainder. So what we're missing is our x, which means we're missing b. So let's go ahead and rewrite that. So we'll have x squared plus, there is no b, there is no x, so put 0x, because when there's nothing, it means 0. And then minus 144. Now we can label. We have a, b, and c. A is 1, B is 0, C is negative 144. Looks impossible, but it's not really that bad. Let's go ahead and make our x. What goes on top? Bottom. Divide by. What do we find the factors of? Now, this looks difficult because it's such a big number, but what times what gives you 12? Oh, hell's bells. Well, I just gave it away. Congratulations. I'm not even going to cut that out. What times what gives you 144? Obviously 12, because I just said it out loud. Okay, so 12 times 12 gives you 144. But we have a negative 144. So one's going to be positive. The other will be negative. So 12 times negative 12 gives you negative 144. But add them together, what's that give you? 0. 12 minus 12 is 0. So you know what? That's it. So you're going to have a 12 go here, and a negative 12 go here. And now we can make our equation. Y equals a times x plus blank times x plus blank. That goes there, and that goes there. And we'll have y equals a is 1 times x plus 12 over 1, which is just plus 12. And then x plus negative 12, which is x minus 12. And that's it, guys. That's all she wrote. So please make sure to write your notes, get your work done, turn your stuff in, and pass this awesome class. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.